This one from Indore. Ajay Dhole writes to us, holds about 30 shares of Infosys at 776 since May. Wants to know whether to hold or average or add more. Well, Mayuresh, he got in at the right time, one of the lowest prices that we saw on the stock, 776, sitting on a decent ride. Do you think he should add more, average on the way up?
Afternoon Mangalam, afternoon Nigel. So absolutely right. I think a nice entry point that the investor has got. And what the management has given forth in terms of guidance is extremely encouraging for Infosys as a stock. So the constant currency growth of 0 to 2%, the EBIT margin maintenance between 21 and 23 odd percent, and the order wins that they've got, $1.7 billion odd dollars, are very, very positive. The second angle that a lot of investors probably have some question marks about is the localization, and Infosys has a reasonable amount of localization. So the H-1B visa costs and issues thereof should not be impacting the workflow for Infosys on site. And the third element obviously is with digitalization, with outsourcing gaining speed, the kind of traction that one really expects to come through, specifically in segments like BFSI, which is the largest contributor, retail, which has been a laggard along with manufacturing, expected to improve, and communications and high-tech holding up. I think all these factors should work in favor of Infosys. So in my opinion, hold on to the stock. A little bit of a pullback, I think, is somewhere where it could add its positions as well.
Welcome back. A lot of these stocks from the financial space doing rather well. Muthoot Finance is the one that should come up for you. A big surge is what we're seeing. And we have Berger Paints, that one too from the broader markets, doing rather well. I think we do have a query coming in. It's an SMS coming in. PC Achaya writes to us from Bengaluru. Holds about 100 shares of Axis Bank at 675 rupees for the last 1 year. Wants to know whether he should hold or not. In the last 1 year, he must be losing a fair amount of money because the stock's close to around that 500 rupee odd mark. But today, he is happy because some of his losses are curtailed after the big move that we're seeing on Axis Bank. Mayuresh, he's entered at a high price as compared to what it is right now. But do you think the future of this stock looks good and he should continue to hold?
Oh yes, Mangalam. And again, I think the dynamics for the sector are changing for the better. Ever since the pandemic broke out and the numbers started coming in for Q4 and the moratorium started getting announced, there was a huge upheaval in terms of the pressures that the asset quality might face, whether it's private banks or public sector banks in general. But what you've probably seen over the last 2 quarters, the moratorium book and the stress thereof has improved greatly. So for Axis Bank, it's 9.7% of the total loans as we ended Q1. What they've also done in terms of their underwriting skills, loan growth has moderated, and it is rightfully so, because I think they're very, very cautious in terms of their wholesale loans, which apparently, again, I think 81% are rated A-. Retail is around 53% of their overall balance sheet, and the treasury income is almost 64%, a large part coming through retail fees. So that has taken a little bit of a hit at this point of time, but from the second half, the recovery should be very, very obvious. GNPAs, net NPAs, very much under control. And even if I take in a worst case scenario under stress tests, annualized slippage at 2.5%, cost to income inching a little bit higher or staying at the same level, the expectations of NIMs being around 3.4, 3.5, and the earnings recovery should lead to ROAs and ROEs improving in the next couple of years. So yeah, I think there are better times ahead for the sector as a whole. It's a hold from my side.
Hold on. That's the advice that's coming in there from Mayuresh. We have Payal Shah, who writes to us in Bengaluru. She's looking to invest close to 10,000 rupees for the short term. Wants to know which sector to invest for because she wants best returns. Mayuresh, what do you think? 10,000 bucks is what she has. What should she be investing in?
So our own sense, Nigel, again, is have a medium-term view. I think a short-term can be very, very volatile. But in that consideration, my own sense is that pharma stroke agrochemicals, specialty chemicals is what we'll probably look at. Within pharma, again, stocks like Sanofi India is where our belief is it should do very, very well going forward. Branded portfolio almost 42 odd percent. EBITDA margins expected to get maintained between 23, 24 odd percent. They do have access to certain in-licensed molecules from their parent itself. And they're introducing a few of their global drugs into the Indian market as well. No issues about cash on the balance sheet. So I think the dividend payouts and the healthy balance sheet also supports. Valuation might be a tad bit higher compared to its statistical averages, but our canceling methodology suggests that this is one stock that can really do well over the next few months.